Good morning, televiewers of my media prime television. You're on to your favorite bilingual program, The Brief, where we always get to dig several layers beneath the major headlines as captured by newspapers. On today's edition of the program, the newspapers are focusing on three very important topics. We are talking about the race to the chairmanship of the opposition political party, the AZM, that has taken a different twist, with three candidates with their different manifestos drifting them apart. We shall also talk about the tobacco interference index that has been made public, with Cameroon occupying the worst position in Africa when it comes to that index. We shall dig several layers beneath that piece of information which was published recently, as the newspapers are presenting for us this morning in Cameroon. Stay with us, televiewers of my media prime. Let's go find out what Etape Quentin has been reading in the French language newspapers. Bonjour Etape.
Bonjour Lasha Kinsili, bonjour mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue dans votre programme débrief consacré au décryptage des actualités relayées dans les journaux en kiosque au quotidien. Eh bien, mardi 24 octobre 2023 sur ma Média Prime Télévision, les thèmes de ce jour sont riches et alléchants. L'on tentera de vous faire balader dans l'Assemblée nationale. L'on parlera de la magistrature suprême du Cameroun et son conseil, et bien sûr des infrastructures routières de la capitale économique et politique du pays. Démarrons d'ailleurs par cette information avec le journal Le Jour. Le journal Le Jour, arrivé à notre rédaction ce matin, titre route PK14, PK17, le calvaire des étudiants de l'université de Douala. Eh bien, si l'on s'en tient aux lignes et colonnes des pages 2 de ce 3 de ce tabloïd en kiosque ce matin, l'on peut comprendre que hier, jour de rentrée académique de la faculté de médecine, les COP ont encore bravé, comme au quotidien, l'état dégradé de ce tronçon à l'origine des embouteillages, stress, retard et accidents. C'est du moins ce qu'on puisse retrouver dans ce numéro en kiosque ce matin. Poursuivons dans la même lancée avec le journal l'économie qui nous conduit vers Yaoundé, et titre ces tronçons routiers à refaire. Ils rendent la mobilité difficile dans la cité capitale avec un impact sur l'activité économique. En tout cas, la page 3 nous en dit plus sur cette actualité. Prenons également mutation, Conseil supérieur de la magistrature aux abonnés absents. C'est la titrage du journal, l'instance chargée de l'intégration, la mutation, la promotion et la sanction des magistrats ne s'est plus réunie depuis 3 ans. Telle est l'information que le journal nous propose dans la page 9. Prenons aussi le journal Terre Promise, qui s'intéresse à l'Assemblée nationale. Comme Solum grève l'abcès, eh bien, à la veille de la session parlementaire consacrée à l'examen de la loi de finances 2024, le député du RDPC, du Logone et de Chari, région de l'extrême nord, dénonce en des termes à la fois vifs et sans équivoque la gestion du budget de l'Auguste Chambre. Le même journal s'intéresse également en sa petite une à la transformation numérique et dit que le Cameroun cherche sa voie. Le Cameroun Digital Week a permis de voir combien le numérique est important pour le développement et comment le Cameroun s'y prend pour un futur digitalisé. En tout cas, les pages 5 et 7 nous renseignent plus sur cette actualité. Terminons en santé, naturellement, avec le journal Éco-Santé, le quotidien vert, parle de l'hépatite virale C et nous informe ce jour que le traitement est désormais gratuit. D'après les explications données dans la page 2, c'est la teneur d'un communiqué de presse rendu public par le ministre de la Santé publique République, Dr Madaouda Malachi. Il informe à travers cette sortie épistolaire l'opinion publique nationale et en particulier les patients souffrant de cette maladie que le protocole à base de la combinaison Sofosbuvir 400 grammes par 60 mg, boîte de 28 comprimés qui coûtait 500 000 francs CFA est désormais gratuite. Le même journal parle de l'hôpital central de Yaoundé et titre campagne contre le cancer du sein et du col de l'utérus. Des informations à retrouver dans les lignes et colonnes des tabloïds ainsi évoqués en langue française. Place actuellement à la découverte des autres journaux avec toi Lasha en anglais.
Thank you so much, Etape Quentin. Let's kickstart the exercise this morning with the Herald Tribune newspaper. The Herald Tribune this morning is focusing on the race to the chairmanship of the SDF political party, where 3 candidates have made known their manifesto which is drifting aspirants apart. The newspaper tells us that Limbe 1 electoral district chairman Gordon Zama bets on taking party back to grassroots. Donga Mountain Divisional Coordinator Shewa David on mission to reconcile, bring back dismissed party big wit. Meanwhile, the first national vice president, Honorable O.C. Joshua, wants to resurrect party's legacy of social democracy. The newspapers have the details of that story on page 6. On page 6 of the Herald Tribune, talking about the different manifestos of the 3 candidates who paid their non-refundable caution fees of 7 million francs CFA. Now, let's leave the Herald Tribune newspaper. We are taking you to the Guardian Post. The Guardian Post newspaper is also interested in the race to SDA chairmanship. Who amongst them can fit into Frundi's big shoes, writes the Guardian Post newspaper. The Limbe 1 electoral district chair, Gordon Zama, who is also vying for the post of the national chairman. We also have the first vice national chairman, Honorable O.C. Joshua, who is also a candidate in that at that race. And of course, Shewa David, like I mentioned a moment ago, the Ndonga Mountain coordinator of that political party, is also candidate, and he says he is on a mission to reconcile party militant as well as bring back those that were dismissed from the political party. Suspected amber fighters kill quarterheads in Bamenda, writes the Guardian Post newspaper. Armed men, according to the newspaper, suspected to be separatist fighters, have reportedly killed the quarterhead of Nimbong Quarter in Mile 4 Quentin, Bamenda 3 subdivision of the restive Northwest region. The incident is said to have occurred at about 8 a.m. and of course it was on Sunday, October 22, 2023. Read the full details on page 8 of this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper that you can find on newspapers kiosk this morning. Cameroon said to host 44th La Francophonie Ministerial Conference. Those were the words of Le Jeune Mbela, who is the Minister of External Relations of Cameroon. He has said Cameroon is ready to host delegates for the 44th La Francophonie Ministerial Conference, slated for November 4 and 5 in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. The minister made the declaration in Yaoundé yesterday. This was during a diplomatic briefing attended by members of the diplomatic corps accredited to Cameroon. Find the details of that piece of information on page 6 of this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Now let's talk about SDF succession battle when insiders become outsider, writes the newspaper. The newspaper this morning is focusing on some dismissed members of that political formation, as we are told. Find full details of those that were excluded from the political party by the famous Article 8.2 in this edition of Municipal Updates newspaper. Now, we don't know if the media newspaper is ready. The media newspaper on its part is focusing on this exclusive interview granted the newspaper by Professor Echu George, technical advisor at the Presidency of the Republic. He said COVID-19 task force was a success story. COVID-gate an allusion, according to him. Find the details in this edition of the newspaper precisely on pages 6 and 7. Now, ahead of elective convention, Joshua Osei scores major victory. The newspaper is reporting that the Yaoundé court Thursday threw out a request for reinstatement and cancellation of the national convention by the expelled SDF militants. Political watchers say it is a major victory for Joshua Osei, who can now concentrate on his national chairmanship election, as the newspaper puts it, without fearing a disruption by his rival, Honorable Ninche Jean-Michel. Now we end with Cameroon Insider. Cameroon Insider newspaper this morning is interested in the State House audience that was granted the French ambassador this or last week. The newspaper tells us that the French diplomat representative in Yaoundé, Thierry Marchand, was received by the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, for 90 minutes at the close of last week in a meeting which was an opportunity for the two men to explore possibilities of expanding the 6 decades-long bilateral relations between Cameroon and France. They also shared thoughts on other current affairs animating the international polity at the moment. Find the details of that piece of information on page 2 of this edition of Cameroon Insider newspaper. Now, on to what I told you in my introduction, the Tobacco Interference Index. According to the Post newspaper, Cameroon rated worst amongst African countries. The newspaper tells us further that Cameroon has been rated worst amongst 18 African countries in terms of performance when it comes to respecting Article 5.3 of the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. The newspaper says this is contained in the 2023 African Tobacco Industry Interference Index that was launched on October 18 in a virtual event attended by tobacco control advocates, government officials, the media, and other stakeholders around the world. The index is produced by the African Tobacco Control Alliance, as we are told, in collaboration with the African Center for Tobacco Industry Monitoring and Policy Research. Find the details of that piece of information on page 2 of this edition of the Post newspaper. Hello, televiewers of My Media Prime. We are back in the studio to continue with our discussions. We are already joined by the Councillor of Douala 5 Council. He is a councillor of the PCRN political party who is always with us here to debate on pertinent issues touching the lives of the nation Cameroon. Good morning, Etape. Good morning once again and welcome.
Thank you. Obam. Good morning. Good morning to your million of TV viewers, and it's a pleasure for me to be here representing my party, Cameroon Party for National Reconciliation.
D'accord, merci pour cette autre aventure à démarrer avec nous ce matin dans le cadre de cette émission débrief. Place actuellement au décryptage avec le journal d'abord de Le Jour qui a une titraille très alléchante. Eh bien, route PK14, PK17, le calvaire des étudiants de l'université de Douala. Alors, c'est un chemin de croix à parcourir pour l'éternité.
Cette route a été baptisée route pour l'enfer.
Oui.
Route pour l'enfer. It's a route for health. You are going to hell. Yeah. Et spécifiquement, c'est une honte. Quand vous parlez de PK14, j'ai mal au cœur.
Oui.
Parce que si vous passez là-bas maintenant, c'est le calvaire total. Ça fait 6 ans, avec des dépenses de 22 milliards de francs CFA. La route n'est pas achevée.
22 milliards.
No, the road of Yabasi PK2019 is okay already. It's 19 to PK14, that is not good. Et donc pour 22 milliards disparus comme ça, on accuse l'entreprise tchadienne qui disent-ils n'a plus de fonds. Ce qu'il faut relever, c'est que lorsque l'État planifie cette route-ci, il y a l'autoroute Douala-Yaoundé qui passe par là-bas. Il y a la prison centrale qui passe par là-bas. Il y a l'université de référence que nous avons qui passe par là-bas. Et qui a au moins 25 000 étudiants, dont les étudiants du niveau 1 et du niveau 2.
Et il y a la Polytechnique également.
Bien sûr.
Oui.
Vous voyez donc que l'État a délaissé ses populations. Et nous sommes passés au créneau dans les médias depuis 2 semaines pour décrier cet État-là. Parce qu'il y a eu des morts. Il y a une enseignante qui est morte sur une moto, écrasée par un conteneur. Oui.
C'est grave.
Donc, cette route est une route pour l'enfer.
Oui.
L'État, ça fait honte à nos institutions parce que l'université a rang de ministère, dont le recteur a rang de ministre. Imaginez-vous aller dans un ministère avec cet tas de route-là.
And they are training medical doctors that way. That's the campus where medical
That's the
doctors
case.
are trained, engineers.
And just imagine le préjudice causé sur la santé physique, la santé mentale, psychologique, les résultats académiques des étudiants. Et les enseignants qui doivent prendre les motos, parce que les enseignants arrivent en Ndekoti, à 14, ils garent leur voiture, ils prennent les motos. Aucun taxi ne circule dans cette route-là. Aucun taxi. Donc, je dis c'est une route pour l'enfer, et on ne cessera de décrier ces manquements.
Monsieur Oban,
Yeah.
what is the raison d'être behind the road being abandoned? We say abandoned because we are not so sure whether money is available for the road to be constructed, so we cannot talk about abandonment. Is it a deliberate act to put citizens in perpetual and abject suffering?
You know, when this government, when we don't cry,
What is
when you don't
happening?
shout, when you don't cry for a long time.
Because the issue is that you have a campus, a campus of the University of Douala,
Yeah.
where medical doctors are trained, where engineers are trained.
Yeah.
And then, what kind of result with these students?
How
who are
can you
not going to
explain?
school?
How can you explain that they have been planified the construction of that road since Yabasi?
But is the money there? That's another question.
It's not a matter of money. What about the Douala Yaoundé road? Who stopped for at Boumnebel? Only 60 kilometers have been repaired. What about the Pénétrance East entrance in Douala? When you leave airport to Douala, what do you see? Since about 12 years, what are the results? You understand? That is an illness in this country. It's an illness. People don't care about we. They don't care about the people. They don't care about the future. They don't even respect that institution that is university, because university is an institution that they have to be has to be respected. How can you believe that students cannot? They have to take those big camions, to go there. There's no taxi. So they told us that it's a charging company that has a contract, and that now the company don't have funds to continue. I said that is nonsense. It's also charging company that is all around our.
So, in what jurisdiction? If you look at the public investment budget, does it fall within the jurisdiction of littoral region? Public investment budget for the littoral region.
That is a very
and
good
what
question.
was the amount allocated for? Let's take the last 3 years. If you have to go through the amount,
That is
does it
what
mean that the amount cannot be used to tar that route?
that is
in
what
the
they
public
call that is
investment
what they call the
budget?
national road. And the main minister is the minister of public work, Mintepe, that is in charge of that road. But I will tell you something. There's what they call administrative diplomacy in terms of road. When something is blocked like that, you have mayor of councils, you have Douala, the mayor of Douala councils, you have the president of the region here in Douala, you have the senators here in Douala. They have to do all their effort to repair that road. You understand? There was 22 billion affected to that road. Up to now, there's no result.
Mais
There
qu'est-ce
was
qui s'est passé
but
avec
when you
l'argent?
when you ask yourself what are the reason?
So
you
what
will
is
say-
the need of talking about public investment budgets every year, money being allocated? At the end of the day, we don't see what is
Really,
the
we
money
feel
is-
that
is
we feel
used
that
to.
I'm really surprised. I'm really sorry, but we feel that when we don't cry a lot, when we don't shout a lot, these people are not happy. They're happy when this you see us shout, cry, we're angry, people are suffering. I don't know what how can I explain it? Just take lecturers in University of Douala, that place, PK 17. When you see a lecturers, a professor in university, he has to take a bike to go and give lesson to his students. Can you imagine? University is a laboratory where they prepare a student that will manage the country in the future. But what can you imagine the respect that they give to the lecturers in the PK 17 and all those students?
And you have visiting lecturers and professors too. Those people are coming. Are you sure they are sick?
And you have
people flying from abroad to come and give lectures.
And we have now an average of students that are coming from Guinea Equatorial, Gabon, Congo, here in Douala to study here. Just imagine the image. Imagine the image. And that is why now university, government university lose many students because they're going now to private. They went to private. You understand? A parent cannot take a risk to send his student there. And university, government university is only for poor people. People who don't have money. You understand? People who don't have money. So that road is a road for health. And we will say loudly, government has to take its own responsibility to help those citizens.
D'accord. C'est le même problème qui est décrié par un autre journal, mais qui jette plutôt son coup de projecteur sur le réseau routier de la capitale politique du Cameroun. Le journal Économie titre Yaoundé, ces tronçons routiers à refaire. Il semble il rend de la mobilité difficile dans la cité capitale avec un impact sur l'activité économique. Quel commentaire?
J'ai dit c'est une maladie généralisée. Et vous entrez dans les causes. Les causes, on vous dira, c'est l'entreprise qui n'a pas les moyens. Ok. On vous dira, c'est le service de passation des marchés publics. On vous dira que le ministre des Travaux publics, il y a une vidéo qui circule chez vos confrères, où il découvre une entreprise chinoise qui est là. Oui. Et il demande au patron de l'entreprise, est-ce que vous avez déjà eu à travailler dans ce genre de route-là? C'était moi les projets. Quelles sont les enquêtes qui sont menées pour donner un marché à ce genre de personnes? Laissons les marchés. Prenons le Cameroun en général. Où est la route Douala-Yaoundé, l'autoroute Douala-Yaoundé? On a combien d'années aujourd'hui? Combien de milliards ont été dépensés? Et l'autoroute Douala-Yaoundé est devenue l'autoroute Yaoundé-Douala qui a commencé à Yaoundé, qui est fini à Boumibel. Boum, on n'en parle plus. On a des rallonges et des rallonges. Prenez la pénétrance est de Douala. C'est souillant. Vous parlez du continent, du Cameroun comme étant un continent. J'ai un camarade qui disait encore récemment, il rentrait dans l'avion avec des expatriés. Il vantait tellement le Cameroun, c'est un grand pays et tout. Quand ils sont arrivés à l'aéroport de Douala, les Blancs lui ont demandé que c'est le Cameroun ici. Bon, ils ont dit ok, on peut comprendre que l'aéroport est dans un coin reculé. Mais c'est une honte quand vous roulez à l'entrée de Douala. Les camions garés, la saleté, dirty, all those things are smelling, disorder, traffic jam. How can you imagine? C'est ça la réalité du Cameroun. Donc, les causes sont des causes de gestion, de planification gouvernementale. C'est ça le problème. Quand on veut construire une route, et là où la route passe, le développement suit. Également. La route de PK14 là, vient de Yabassi. Oui. Avant Yabassi, il y a un Konjok. Un Konjok peut nourrir tout le bruit en termes de vivrier. Konjok peut nourrir tout le bruit. Les plantains, la nourriture qui sort de cette zone là, mais ils passent par où? Ils n'ont pas de route.
C'est un grand bassin de production agricole.
Bien sûr, je dis qu'un Konjok seul. Konjok, laissons Yabassi, laissons le sud-ouest qui produit. Laissons le Mungo. Un Konjok peut nourrir les habitants du Vouri.
Alors, cet état des choses vient remettre au goût du jour quoi?
La malgouvernance.
What is the solution?
You know when people have done
every day we are only saying, oh, Bia is because of Bia has to go. Is a problem really Bia goes to there? Are you sure Cameroon will manage this?
Yes.
Thing?
Yes.
Where will you see the people? Because it's not Bia alone managing. You have other people who are assisting.
No, it's not other people. We don't know the
Cameroonians. Huh?
You know the minister of the name of the minister of Joe Biden. You know the name of the minister of the Pope. You know Pope is a president. He's like a president. You know the name of his minister. There was war in Iraq, and Libya. Do you know the name of minister of Obama right now? We don't know. He's the one responsible. Because look, when you have done 40 years, what are your challenges again? We have done 40 years somewhere.
But you cannot be comparing 100 years democracy with our.
Take an example of this small country that they call Mali and Burkina Faso. You have the same people, you have the same population, you have the same area, but what has changed? The leadership. Look Mali, the same army, the same people, but what changed in Mali? They are going to have their satellite light. Is the leadership. President Biya have been working for a long time, since 28 years. He has 28, or 78. Up to now, more than 65 years in those affairs. Now he's not capable to manage the country. We need new leadership. We need new people of conviction. We need new order. We need new discipline. It's not that is the right. The guy is tired. He has worked for a long time, and we respect his work. You understand? But now look the country. It's just like the country is abandoned. People are doing what they can do, what they want to do. You see, look at our laws. Look the road. Do you believe that there's somebody behind that is pushing people? How can you imagine that? Look at Olembe Stadium. It's 8 minutes from Olembe Stadium to the Pobia Palace. 8 minutes.
So are you saying because he's not been going there?
He's not been going there.
So,
and I can tell you everything. During the African Nation Cup, the vice president of CAF came here with Samuel Eto'o to the presidency. He is the one who shows to President Biya the image of Olembe Stadium.
You mean that they have never shown Mr.
They never
Biya?
show him. He saw him. Look, you cannot. That was they say. He says he used the term glissement. He said, well, you cannot. You see, no, you cannot look the stadium. They don't give him a good report. Because
so, why did he not punish the people who did not give the good report?
That's the question. You know, the grant last time people of COVID and Kano, they gave him awards. That is the standard of our nation. So people who are in court with an affair in court, they can even give them an award. You see, understand? That's our country. And there are many cases like that. That is no solution. Just take an example. Look, this road of Yaoundé Douala, this what they call autoroute, this last autoroute in Yaoundé Douala, for how many years? People are dying every day. In terms of statistics, is a road that kill a lot in this world. There's no light up to now. Take your car, go there, you will see. It's a shame for our country. For 40 years, you cannot build a road that will rely the two capitals. How can you explain that? So think that
are Cameroonians not to blame? Bad faith of Cameroonians who are bad faith.
Who's
you can only be you're only blaming President Pobia. What about the people who have been given the money to do the job and they are embezzling the money?
Okay, I'll tell you something. When you say Cameroonian, you need to give the name of those people. You and me, we don't manage public money. We're not concerned. There are people who are concerned, and it's a system that protects each others. There's a system. You cannot punish your people. You cannot punish your brother. You cannot punish your workers. You see, no, you are not strong enough to change things, and people are already used to. They say, okay, what will happen? They can steal money like that anyhow. They can steal money. I saw a report last.
What about us, the citizens? Now we are just watching, observing them.
That's why we have a wonderful country.
A wonderful
country.
Right.
There's a person who says, if I could have Cameroonians as my citizen, I'll be happy. You say go to left, they're going to left. Go to right, they're going to right. Sleep, they sleep. Run, they run. You add taxes, they will stay. You add price of bread, price of petrol, they will just look you like that. Everything you do, Cameroonians looking like that. This country, you cannot accuse Cameroonians. They are there looking at you like that.
Vous ne pouvez pas aussi comprendre que les citoyens camerounais ont besoin de voir leurs enfants grandir aussi.
Quels enfants grandir? Quels enfants grandir? C'est parce que le Cameroun a un système de jonglage. C'est-à-dire que le système a mis les Camerounais dans un état où ils survivent.
Oui.
Je prends un exemple simple. Quelqu'un qui gagne 3 000, 4 000 francs, 5 000 francs par jour, il ne peut pas gréver. Parce qu'il sait que le lendemain, il va encore avoir 3 000, 5 000 francs, il va vivre. Les révolutions commencent quand les gens ne mangent même plus. Donc on nous a mis dans un système de gestion, on nous gère. Tu comprends un peu? Quand tu veux te fâcher, tu dis que demain il va manger quoi? I will eat what tomorrow. And tomorrow you have 5,000 or 3,000, and that is a daily habit, every day. That's our country. So this is a very wonderful country with people. Cameroonians are not complicated. I don't know how it's difficult to manage a country like this. Look. Can you imagine the damage in people's cars, people's life? You see, people are there looking like that. They say, okay, it's okay. There's peace, there's no war, and just continue to live like that.
D'accord. Monsieur Patrick Aubin, on va poursuivre les analyses dans d'autres sujets. Eh bien, Mutation nous informe ce matin que l'instant chargé de l'intégration, la mutation, la promotion et la sanction des magistrats ne s'est pas réuni depuis 3 ans aujourd'hui. Alors, le Conseil supérieur de la magistrature, aux abonnés absents.
Qui est le patron?
Le président de la République.
Le président de la
République.
Son Excellence Paul
Le
Biya.
Conseil des ministres, on a quel niveau? Qui est le patron? C'est le président de la République.
Oui.
Donc, vous comprenez le problème, ce que je venais de vous dire tout à l'heure. Et la magistrature a ceci de particulier, c'est la justice. Voyez-vous, dans d'autres pays, comme la France, ce n'est pas le chef d'État qui nomme le président de la magistrature suprême. C'est pas lui. Ou le président de la Cour constitutionnelle, c'est pas lui. C'est un corps d'ennemis qui propose à cause de sa crédibilité. Dans un pays où le pouvoir exécutif, le pouvoir judiciaire,
mais c'est la constitution, non? It's the constitution.
It's not the constitution.
No, but it's
constitution say we have to separate the power.
But the constitution says the president of the republic is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He is the head of the magistracy. He is the head of this.
You know why like that? You know why? Because he's afraid of one thing. If it is not a thief.
It is the president, which means that Mr. Biya can still leave. Another person will come there.
They can change it. Like in France, they can change it. The reason why he's the president of Supreme Magistrature is because if you put another president there, the person can send him in court.
Mais ça fait
so to protect himself,
oui.
he has to take all that.
So where were the Cameroonians, or where were those parliamentarians when the laws were being voted?
They have the majority. Even if you are against, just take our example here in the other 5 council, when we go to vote, we are how many out of CPDM people? They will win. So that's why when they take all the seats in National Assembly, they're the one who vote the law, no? You understand? And they vote any laws according to the system. When the system say vote yes, even if it's bad, they will say yes. That's our country. So, pour revenir à votre question, c'est évident, mais sauf que c'est la justice. Et dans un pays où la justice n'est pas indépendante, ok, où on n'a pas un patron différent du patron de l'exécutif, ça nous pose un problème. Dans des pays sérieux, le président peut être saisi, il peut être interpellé, mais au Cameroun, ce n'est pas le cas. Parce qu'il est le président de la magistrature suprême. Et donc, c'est lui qui décide, c'est lui qui a l'agenda. Vous comprenez un peu. Vous avez ce cas, vous avez le cas des notaires. Ça fait combien d'années qu'il n'y a pas de concours notarial ici dans ce pays? C'est un domaine qui est fermé. Les avocats, prenons le cas des avocats. Le dernier recrutement, le dernier concours des avocats, c'était quand?
Ça fait 3 ans. I think it's 3 years.
Non, 3 years.
More than
3 years. It's going up to 7 years, I think. Les notaires, beaucoup sont morts, on n'a pas remplacé. Et ça pose un problème sur la justice. Il faut une justice indépendante. Il faut une justice indépendante, libre. Et ça fait donc qu'il y a des jeunes magistrats qui veulent monter. Il y a une personne qui décide au sommet. Il y a une seule personne qui décide au sommet.
There are some who have graduated from school. They have not even been posted. They are
I have many friends like that.
They are sitting in their home.
Master 2. Their only hope is that. And there's something in this matter of law. We who study law, there's something that I will explain you in 30 seconds. This country, you start law in level 1, university. Level 2, you have what you call la licence. Level 4, you have your master and master 2. But you cannot work, you cannot have a job in that domain. You have to make a how you call it, a concours. You understand? Vous avez une maîtrise en droit, vous allez faire quoi? Vous pouvez être magistrat? Non. Vous avez une maîtrise en droit, vous pouvez être greffier? Jamais. Vous avez une maîtrise en droit, vous pouvez être avocat? Non. Vous avez eu 5 ans, bac plus 5, maîtrise. Vous ne pouvez pas être avocat dans ce pays. Il faut encore faire un concours pour être avocat. Alors le droit nous sert à quoi? Voilà la question qu'on se pose. Donc, c'est autant de chômeurs. Vous allez voir autant d'étudiants en faculté de sciences juridiques qui sortent de là avec la maîtrise. Ils ne peuvent pas exercer les fonctions liées à leur profession.
Comment comprendre cet état des choses?
Mais c'est le système qui l'a pensé ainsi.
Oui.
Et il se retrouve dans les entreprises comme juriste. Avec une licence, une maîtrise, il est juriste. Il gère les papiers, tout le reste, il peut faire des photocopies, il répond des petites questions, ainsi de suite. Vous êtes, vous imaginez, vous êtes là une maîtrise, you have a master 2, you cannot be a lawyer in this country. After your master 2, you have to go back to school, make a concours, and pass to go back to start the school to be a lawyer. Can you imagine? You cannot be magistrate.
They are not even launching those concours.
See, so you have students that are waiting, and you know the scandals. we have more than 400 children in
Rwanda. Certificate.
They don't have the certificate, and that's another thing. You make an exam, you don't have a certificate. We have abandoned them with our certificate since university, since secondary school.
So what are you are using what now?
Master, I'm doing my own job. It's here. My knowledge is here. It's not in the paper. My knowledge is here. It's not in the paper.
À quoi peut-on s'attendre sur ce genre de dossier des hommes qui ont reçu la formation, notamment dans le domaine du droit, mais qui n'arrivent pas à trouver de la place dans la société? Est-ce que ça peut être à l'origine des groupuscules qui se forment dans le sens de créer des faux documents officiels?
Mais si, if you train somebody for a long time, the man is training himself, he has muscles every day, there's no job. What can you expect? He will deal with you, no, Master. He will deal with you. So Cameroonians are very dangerous. Now, up to now, I'm telling you.
Oui.
Cameroonians are very dangerous. Since 40 years, the less Cameroonian has at least a master since 1982. It means that if you don't have a master, at least you have 15 years of experience in a domain, even if it's selling water. Even if it's selling water. You understand? It means that since President Biya took the power, up to now it's 41 years. All the children that were born in 82 up to now, they are at least doctors. If they are not doctors, it means that they have 18, 15 to 20 years of experience in the domain. Even if it's carrying son, they have experience. It means they are dangerous for the country. So when you train people, they are going to master everything. Doctors, they don't have job. What is the consequences? It's sort of like water that's boiling under people. You will see the change. You will see things happen. Those students that have mastered, they don't work. What are they going to do? Ils vont faire ce que tu dis là. Créer des documents, mettre leur génie au service de la fraude.
La fraude.
Okay.
Voilà.
The audience. Let's talk about audience at the presidency last week. That was on Friday, where President Paul Biya received Thierry Marchand, the French ambassador to Cameroon. We were discussing on bilateral relations between Cameroon and France and the upcoming La Francophonie Ministerial Conference, which we will hold in Cameroon this November.
Yeah, you know, there are three types of Cameroonians. You understand? Three types of leadership in the world. African leadership. Let's say Francophone African leadership. The first type is those leaders that just they were weak in face of the French people, so they never do something to fight to free themselves. The second type is leadership who those leaders were playing a game. Today they are strong. Today they want to leave the colonization. Tomorrow they don't want to leave. And there's a third leadership. Is those people who don't want to be slave again. I told you there are three types of leaders in Africa. Africa, yes, country. Against this thing that they call France. Against colonization. Now, for we Cameroon, what are we dealing with those people? There are many things that we can deal with them. But for we citizens, what do we want in terms of relation with those people? To speak more French? Have more conference in francophonie. What is it? It brings us what?
Dans le cadre de la coopération bilatérale.
Bon, 60 years of cooperation, what is the result with those people? 70 years of cooperation, what is the result of those people? Now, all the francophone countries are trying to see how they can reduce the relation. They can break the relation with these people. That's the case. Look Mali, look Burkina Faso, look Algeria, look Tunisia, look Maroc.
Monsieur Obama, vous ne pouvez pas dire que ça va apporter quoi? L'on connaît les œuvres de la coopération entre le Cameroun et la France.
Ah bon? En 70 ans.
La stratégie de développement.
La route de la Yaoundé, c'est qui a conçu ça?
L'agence de développement française.
Non, oui. Non, l'agence française de développement a ses programmes. Vous comprenez un peu?
Oui.
Elle a ses programmes. Et dans les coopérations bilatérales entre le Cameroun et la France, il y a tellement de choses. Mais la question qui se pose, c'est que veut le peuple? Voulons-nous davantage tisser les liens qui nous renforcent avec la France, ou voulons-nous davantage nous affranchir de ces liens-là? Les pays comme le Rwanda ont eu le courage de quitter ces zones-là. Et souvenez-vous, ou bien d'entrer dans d'autres zones comme le Commonwealth, y compris le Gabon. Pour nous, ce n'est pas nouveau, ce n'est pas séduisant, ce n'est pas une bonne nouvelle pour nous qu'on ait des relations avec la France davantage. Parce qu'on a vu la coopération avec la France de bien sur lequel.
Si ce n'était pas la France, où devrait-on prendre les moyens pour la construction et la réhabilitation de certaines routes dans le septentrion?
Ah bon? Vous êtes sérieux là?
Oui.
Que c'est la France qui nous a donné l'argent? Entre
Sinon,
la France et nous, qui a besoin de l'autre?
Voilà.
Qui a besoin de l'autre? Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait ici? Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait ici? Elle a battu une monnaie qui est 650 fois inférieure à notre monnaie.
Oui.
Ça veut dire quoi? En français facile. Ça veut dire que si vous avez un hectare de manioc que vous voulez vendre aux Chinois à $1, la France vous l'achète à 1 franc. À 1 franc. Parce qu'elle a pris, elle s'est arrangée à ce que vos matières premières aient une valeur réduite à 650 francs. 650 fois. Donc elle n'achète pas les choses ici en Afrique. Elle ne nous aide pas, elle les prend. Et quand elle les prend, elle donne des aides. Just take an example, you take somebody 10,000, I give him 500. You have helped him. So, elle n'achète rien au Cameroun. Parce qu'elle a créé un système dans lequel elle a une monnaie qu'elle contrôle, qu'elle bat. C'est elle qui bat la monnaie là-bas. Ils sont en money. Et quand elle bat la monnaie, nous sommes déjà des colonies, nous ne sommes pas des États libres. Là, c'est qu'est-ce. Et donc, toutes les politiques qu'elle met en place, elle s'assure que malgré votre semblant de mouvement, vous soyez dans le gabarit. Hein? Vous ne sortez pas, y compris l'éducation, la santé, l'argent. Si tu n'as pas de monnaie, tu as quelle politique économique? Just take an example. If I have to build my economic politic, because when you have my money in your pocket, I'm not free.
I will ask you to give me. You can decide and don't give.
You don't give me. I say, okay, you take 1,000. After tomorrow, take 200. After. Can you imagine that China build money for Japan? Or Germany, they make their money to give to Korean people. Can you imagine? We are the country. We are colonies. So that's why we, African, we need to free ourselves from reduction. It's not new. Cooperation with France is for more than 70 years. We will not bring new things. You understand? It's good for the government. But we,
okay, Monsieur Oban, it's as if the newspaper this morning, they are only giving bad information about Cameroon. We are talking about the worrying situation in Yaoundé with taxis. That taxis in Yaoundé applying the routes which are not even in good state, very dirty, in a bad state. But citizens don't have a choice than to board those taxis in Yaoundé. A nation's political capital, people come
when you
taxis
that's
without
why
doors.
I love your TV set, because for most of the time when you open your television or your radio at 6 to 9, you only listen bad news. If it's not in Cameroon, it's in Israel, it's in Boko Haram, it is only bad news. What are the good news in Cameroon? People are angry. People are not. They are sad. They're not free. They're not happy. But now you say, last time we came here to this TV set to talk about transporters. That we're planning to
go on strike.
You understand? Now you talk about taxis. Who is responsible? It's not taxis. Let's say taxi enter in strike. They don't work one day. Can you imagine the consequence?
But now we are talking about the taxis that are in bad state. They are not even good. Old, and the citizens don't have a choice in Yaoundé. Imagine people nodding ties, putting on suit to go and enter into dirty taxis. Look, taxis without doors,
no,
glasses.
That is what we call.
But they allow them to be plying the routes. They allow them.
That is a reason. You know, when you want to kill your dog, you will accuse him of having this illness, this rage.
La rage.
La rage.
Oui.
You know, when you see a taxi, I'm a counselor, I'm there to defend people's rights. When you see a taxi, you have behind a taxi at least 5 people. That even 10 people. Let's say the taxi is the driver is not the owner. The driver has behind him 5 people. The owner of the taxi, the patron, has at least 5. That is 10. Those are 10 people. So that is not the way to take things. You understand? It's not the way to take things. It's not a good way. People are looking for work and job. You understand? And there's no taxi in Yaoundé. First thing. There are many people who have to work. There is no road. There's traffic jam. What is the solution? Either you support them by giving them reform to arrange a taxi. But you will not say you remove those taxis in the street because they are bad quantity. You will give them reform to buy the taxi. That's the case. You see, Just like these people, these motorbike, motorbike riders, there are people who have created their own job. So either you help them to do their business, either you say, okay, you stop their business. But in Yaoundé, it's the same situation in Bafoussam, in Douala. You understand? Now we can say, okay, this taxi.
But why can they not remove those dirty taxis from the streets?
To put them away.
Are there no policies that can?
Okay, they can say they give you 3 months up to 2020 to change your paint in your car or your yellow paint. Put a new paint. First thing, they give you 3 months.
What about the chairs inside and other?
You can change it, no matter. It's not rotting. You can just change it now. You can put a new bed sheet and then change it.
Can we not do like other countries where taxis are managed by companies, where you have the system is such that
there are many things that we can do. You see, no, there are many things that we can do, but we're not people who love this country, people who have integrity, people who believe in this nation. There are many things we can do, many things.
Alors, peut-être avant de terminer, voilà, on prend également le journal Terre Promise qui nous propose une information importante là. Eh bien, le journal dit à la veille de la session parlementaire consacrée à l'examen de la loi de finances 2024, eh bien, un député du RDPC du Logon et Chari, c'est dans l'extrême nord, s'insurge contre la gestion du budget de l'Auguste Chambre avec une voix, avec des thèmes à la fois vifs et sans équivoque. Alors, l'accès est percé.
Ce député qui a, comment dire, qui a mis ce scandale en lumière est un questeur.
Oui.
Et les questeurs ont pour rôle de contrôler, n'est-ce pas, les mouvements des finances. Ce sont les contrôleurs, ce sont les gendarmes de l'Assemblée nationale. Et s'il y a eu des détournements de fonds, quand il y a des détournements de fonds quelque part, soit les contrôleurs sont impliqués, soit l'ordonnateur est impliqué. Et il se dit que ce monsieur est effectivement de la même région que le président de l'Assemblée nationale. Donc, il veut sa place. Il y a autant de guerre qui se passe. L'Assemblée ne doit pas être, ne doit pas être entachée de ce genre de régularité. Voilà le problème. Donc, maintenant qu'il passe à la loi de finances, il y a des questions à régler, mais il y a des questions de corruption, détournement de fonds. Plus de 2 milliards de francs CFA en 2 ans. On a eu 900 millions, 900 et poussières de millions en 2022. Et on a de janvier en mai plus d'1 milliard détourné comme ça. Dans cette assemblée, l'assemblée qui contrôle l'action gouvernementale, comment pouvez-vous imaginer ça? Donc, ce qu'on peut demander sur le plateau, c'est que l'État mène des enquêtes. Okay, pour qu'il y ait transparence dans cette chambre-là et que les coupables soient punis, quitte à lever leur immunité pour les députés qui sont impliqués dans les détournements de fonds. C'est très important. Mais on ne peut pas tolérer que l'Assemblée soit, n'est-ce pas, le siège des détournements de fonds et des conflits financiers. C'est pas normal. Donc, c'est pas une bonne image pour le Cameroun. Encore, comme je disais, there's another image for our country. It's not good. That every morning, every National Assembly, you will see that there are still money there. It's not good for every morning you will see new things.
Okay, Mr. Oban, thank you very much for coming. It's
always
a pleasure having you. We hope the discussions today will help, raise awareness in those that are managing, so that they can at least do something to
help
all
the
students,
the
students of that University of
for
Douala.
the road of PK, the road of the health, PK 17 to PK 14 to PK 21, government have to do something. And there's something that can be done in that road, because it's a shame for a nation to have lecturers who have to take bikes, to have population who are crying every day, to have students who are going to take their course in this type of situation. It's not normal. So government have to take some part of responsibility and to repair that road, at least so that people can go in their job and then freely.
Okay, Mr. Oban, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you also.
We hope to have you on a subsequent edition of the program. Thank you to televiewers of My Media Prime for tuning in this morning to watch the first edition of the program for the week. Yesterday was something else. We thank you so much, hoping that you'll be back tomorrow to watch another fresh edition of The Brief, which will be brought to you live on this very channel with the technical assistant of Christain tebong. Etape, Quentin, myself, Lasha Kingsley, were here for the presentation, wishing you a great week ahead. Bye-bye.